Welcome to this functional skills reading lesson. Focus of today's lesson is looking at vocabulary, style and tone. As always, the materials are available on Moodle under the heading of functional skills video lesson, remote lesson, week beginning November the 23rd. Okay. So, like I said, today we're going to be looking at vocabulary, and we're going to be focusing on those questions in the exam which ask you to kind of expand and demonstrate your knowledge of vocabulary and lexis. So to start with, it's word of the day. So you've done this a few times before. Word of the day today is shambolic. Okay, so here's a and try and work out what do you think this word means. Okay, it's an adjective, so it's describing. So here it is describing the government response. So pause the video, see if you can find out what it means. Okay, so definition means organized, unplanned, chaotic, can be called shambolic. So some people might say that the government response has been shambolic. Okay, so aims of today's lesson. We're going to look at ideas of synonyms, widening your range of vocabulary. We're going to think about style and tone. We're going to look at past paper, not a past paper, but some practice questions about vocabulary for both level 2, as it says here, but I've also got some for level 1 if that's the level you're studying. Okay, so a quick starter. Okay, so I want you to replace each of the following words with more interesting vocabulary. Okay, if you want to, you can use a dictionary to help you. Okay, so purpose of this activity, it's both just about improving your vocabulary, which is useful for the reading paper and also for the writing paper as well. Okay, so pause the video and then just take a few minutes, see if you can work out another word, more interesting verb, word which has similar meaning to the words here. Okay, have you done that? So again, obviously there's no right and wrong answer as such here. There's a number of different words you could have chosen. So cold, you could use chilly, freezing, although technically freezing means very cold. Hot, you could use boiling, again technically means very hot. Weird, that's okay. You could strange or bizarre. Dark, you could talk about shadows or without light. Okay, quick, you could use fast, speedy, horrid, you could use disgusting, awful, etc. So you get the idea. Okay, so again, like I said, the point of this is just to start getting you to think about widening your vocabulary and also using more interesting vocabulary in your writing. And obviously, as we say in the lesson aims, these are synonyms. So a synonym is a word which has same or similar meaning as another word. So an example there, synonym for neat could be tidy. So a thesaurus is a book which contains lots of synonyms, helps writers and students express themselves clearly and accurately. And also you have this on Word as well. So on Word, if you highlight, if you're typing a text into Word, if you highlight one of the words, right click, there'll be an option normally to look at a kind of thesaurus. So it gives you a list of other words you could use as well. So again, obviously the wider vocabulary you have, the more different words you can use, your reading becomes better and also your writing becomes more interesting as well. Okay, so we're going to practice that now. Okay, so we did a little bit. We had to come up with some synonyms for these words here. Okay, this time giving you a longer list of words. Okay, so more advanced vocabulary here. Okay, and what you need to do each time is highlight the word which is the odd one out. I.e., so which word is not a synonym, unlike the others. Okay, so for example, in A, excuse me, you have happy, ecstatic, merry, and dejected. Okay, so one of these words has a different meaning to the others. Which one is it? Okay, so the word, which is the odd one out, is dejected. So happy, merry, quite similar. Ecstatic, is used to mean someone who's incredibly happy. The idea of you're in ecstasy. Okay, dejected, on the other hand, can mean like sad, down, depressed, that type of thing. So it's the odd one out. So what I want you to do is, with the other lists here of words, I want you to see if you can add another word. Sorry, I want you to see if you can identify which is the odd word out, okay, which one is not a synonym, and then once you've done that, if you can add synonyms to the list. Okay, so pause the video now, work your way through, and then we'll go through and check in a moment. Okay, welcome back. So, somewhere here we've got a list. Okay, so the first one we did together, so we had happy, ecstatic, merry, all similar meanings. Dejected is the other way around. In B, it's kind of the opposite. So crestfallen, desolate, miserable, all the same words, all have that meaning of, actually it means the same as dejected. So someone unhappy or sad, although stronger emotion than that. Whereas elated has the same meaning as happy or ecstatic. So if you're elated, you're very, very happy about something. Okay, and in terms of a synonym for the other words, so crestfallen, desolate, miserable, depressed would work, dejected, unhappy, all those have a similar meaning. So again, in C, so hideous is the odd word out. As beautiful, alluring, and gorgeous all have a similar meaning. So obviously, beautiful, alluring, gorgeous, something very pretty. Hideous means something very ugly and disgusting. Okay, so in terms of adding a synonym for C, so beautiful, alluring, gorgeous, you could also have stunning, amazing. That would be fun. Okay, and then D, so 3 words in green: palatable, delectable, delicious. Okay, all of those words are used to describe the taste of something, which is very, very good. And obviously the opposite is unpalatable, even though the E is missing off the end of my PowerPoint. So palatable, delectable, delicious. So you could add tasty, stunning in terms of food, would work. Tasty is probably best because it has that idea of the taste of the food, which can only be used in that circumstances. And then E, so 3 words in common are amiable, convivial, and friendly. Again, all have the same meaning as to be friendly. Hostile, used to describe somebody who's if not threatening as such, but outside, kind of someone who doesn't want any interaction, or certainly not in a positive way. Whereas amiable, convivial, friendly, possibly easygoing, all implies somebody who people finds it easy to get friends or to get on with. Okay, so F. Hopefully this one's a little bit more straightforward than some of the others. So you've got 3 words in green: marvellous, commendable, good. They obviously have the same meaning, so you could have great, amazing, and obviously terrible is the opposite. Quite straightforward, that one. G, so 3 words: kind, charitable, generous. And odd one out in red is miserly. Okay, so if somebody is miserly, they are kind of tight with their money. They will not spend it on other people. They will keep all their money to themselves. Okay, but it's kind, charitable, generous, all meaning someone who is open, willing to spend money, willing to give money to those who need it. Okay, and then H, again, horrible, loathsome, revolting. All words to describe something or someone. Unpleasant, be another one. Well, it's delightful, obviously it's opposite meaning, to mean someone very good. And the last one, so words in green, similar meaning, so lethargic, idle, slothful. Okay, all used to describe somebody basically who is lazy, or if not lazy, kind of lacking in energy. Lackadaisical, we could say. Okay, and obviously the opposite of that is somebody who's conscientious, maybe has energy or commitment to do things properly. Okay, so hopefully all the words there in green are the ones that have similar meaning. The words in red are the ones that have a different meaning to the others. And hopefully also you can see that absolutely often in every example the word in red is the opposite to the meaning of the other three words. Okay, so a synonym, we said, means a word that is similar. The word that means something which is opposite is antonym. Okay, so it's the same ending as that word, but it has A-N-T-O at the beginning. Antonym, so a word which is opposite in meaning. Okay, good. So, obviously done a little bit of work on vocabulary work there, getting you ideas. So obviously the whole point of this is to kind of build up your vocabulary. The better your vocabulary is, the easier you'll find the reading activity and the writing as well. And also within the exam there are some very specific questions which ask you to focus on vocabulary and meaning. Okay, so the first one is when it asks you to look for or find a synonym. Okay, so you need to find a word which has similar related meaning. So it asks you to replace a word in a sentence with another word or phrase but keeps the meaning the same. Okay, so a good CV is essential. Okay, so essential means something really important, something you can't do without. So what you could say, a good CV is important, critical, crucial, all those types of things. Okay, so that's how it works in the exam. And the other two, slightly different. How to explain what the quotation means, kind of put the meaning into your own words. Okay, so I'm just going to let you pause the video again. I just want you to go through and explain in your own words what flexible hours means and also what temporary work vacancies mean. Okay. So flexible hours. So the word flexible here has two meanings. We can talk about somebody being very flexible, which means that they can maybe move their bodies in lots of weird positions at one time. But flexible also has the meaning of kind of always changing. Okay, so flexible hours implies that your hours will not be fixed, basically. So sometimes you'll be working maybe 6 hours one evening. Another time you'll be working maybe just 2 hours. Okay, or different shifts, that sort of thing. Okay, and then temporary work vacancies. Hopefully fairly straightforward, this one. If something is temporary, it is not fixed, unlasting. So it's about being able to pick out the words in two, replace another word, this one, to talk about a word and what it might mean. So temporary work vacancies, so I don't think I explained that very clearly, means something which isn't permanent. Okay, so maybe only lasts for a short period of time, like a fixed term contract type of thing. Okay, so what we're going to do next is jumped on a little bit. So if you look at the PDF, the other file, which is in the same Moodle folder. Okay, so you've got a reading here from a blog. Okay, so a blog is like a somebody's thoughts and feelings about day-to-day issues, written down and published on the internet under what's called the blog. Okay, so you're going to look at an example of this one now. Okay, so this is the example from here. Okay, so what I want you to do is, depending whether you're level 1 or level 2, is the text remains the same. But the questions are different. Okay. Well, the text is similar anyway. Okay. So if you're level 1, and so read this text here. This is from earlier in the year. And you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 questions. So you can, so some of these are kind of picking up specific details. Some of these are about trying to understand or understand the vocabulary, or to be able to, you know, kind of analyse what's happened in the text and why. Okay, so the first one's level 1. So like I said, if you're doing level 1, you look at this task here. If you're doing level 2, then you read the second task, which is slightly different, and then you've got a few more questions to answer. But again, as you can see, so some of those is just, most of these are about focusing on vocabulary, how it works, and what it means. Okay, so like I said, so work through these tasks. Okay. Okay, and then if you want to, want to get some practice in your writing, then you can follow through here. Okay, and we've got a writing task. Okay, talking about your personal experiences. Okay, so obviously we were all in lockdown earlier in the year. I know technically we're in lockdown now, but to be honest, it doesn't always feel like it. Okay, so read through the prompts here. Okay, here you've got some kind of guidance, bullet point ideas of how to approach it and what they'll be looking for. Okay, and then once you've done that, okay, see if you can write up the whole answer. Okay, right, so that is it for today's lesson. Like I said, once you've finished with those tasks from the reading task, put the answers into your books and make sure that you ensure that your teacher sees the answers next week. Okay, thanks very much. Have a nice week and talk soon. Bye bye.